are actually watching this in a different way. So I built a portal and it uses Zoom technology, but they get to talk and interact in that portal while we're here. If and for some reason it isn't working very well with Mac and with some other things. So sometimes people jump on the Zoom, but they don't. And I told them that you said, Tina, I will do a live with you. And I said, okay, well, why don't you come to my event and do it? I don't know what you're going to say, but I do know that I explained to them yesterday that you've definitely been patient with me and that I get frustrated when things don't work out like they're supposed to, but I keep going. So, Steve, I'm giving you the floor.
Wow. You know, and I hate to say it, but your mic was muted for the first 30 seconds, so I didn't hear the intro, but I think I've got the gist, Tina, and I don't know who all is on the call right now in another room or whatever, but I can certainly take it through the path of how we met and, you know, why I feel so strongly about your professionalism, capability through all the ups and downs, but you know, why we've stuck together so well. And I'm already thinking about the next project that I haven't even discussed with you. So I had the great fortune, and it was luck, I have to admit, to have been introduced to Tina through the Wix.com professional portal. She was recommended with two other companies. I spoke to all three companies, and it was very quick in my discussion with Tina. I think, Tina, actually, you were the third person I talked to. But when I was halfway through the call with Tina, I could tell that I was dealing with somebody who's a can-do person, may take on some challenges that, quite frankly, are bleeding edge. And when you're talking software and integration, APIs and all those other things scares the hell out of me. Tina was never phased. I mean, in fact, I could blame her for some of the delays because she's so damn creative that she kept coming up with these ideas with different ways to attack, you know, a pretty interesting challenge. And when I say challenge, so what are we doing? We're a senior care service out here in California, trying to get lots of systems to become one system, which is easy when the core software is integrated to a bunch of little companies that are out there, but that's not the real world. The real world is they'll offer you an API. You got to find somebody or yourself to go do the coding. And we had made a decision on a CRM package that we really liked for its marketing strength, and that was Keep, K-E-A-P. Keeps pretty much off the beaten path when it comes to the big names and who's really supporting true integration versus here's our API, go make it work. We're not supporting it. So that's how I got together with Tina and certainly her company and her can-do philosophy. It's the strongest I've ever been around. I've been in the business about 37 years. I started in software, Oracle, bunch of platforms on the hardware side, and worked for systems integrators. So I quickly found that Tina was somebody that, number one, is transparent, number two, hyper responsive. And I'm talking weird hours of the day, 7 days a week. There was holidays where I was getting correspondence from Tina because she knew I don't want to say we missed our schedule, because to have a missed schedule, you have to have parameters that stick together throughout that process. And we both agreed that new ideas were coming our way fast and furious. Assumptions that were made on certain integration strategy partners that we were, you know, I think testing, didn't quite meet what she was trying to accomplish. So she shifted. And I never questioned Tina's choices to make change. I knew change is bad from a timing perspective, but she is the type of person that does her homework. Her due diligence is second to no one that I've been around. I would recommend Tina to anyone seeking the type of creativity and also execution and process modeling needed to make a systems integration project work. Be patient, let her be creative. She's really good at what she does. We're so close right now. I'm not even going to ask since this is being recorded, but I know we're close to really getting this little baby of a project up and running, because I've seen the work, I've seen the templates, I've seen her her hard work and her team's work. Yeah, if I could show you the template, it would blow everybody's mind. All these little check boxes you have to put on all these healthcare forms that we have to kind of automate for the online world versus making customers fill out things by hand and then ship it to you on a scanned picture, JPEG or whatever that doesn't do anything for your internal systems. So I'll stop rambling. I don't know if you want to do Q&A or something, or
You,
anything you wanted me to cover, Tina.
you know, so I I want to say it from my perspective though, because I really love what Steve said. And again, I didn't know what he was going to say because from my perspective, I can tell you guys I've missed a lot of deadlines, but I told them why. And I can tell you that um, if if it looked like I was giving him a if I was putting a band-aid on something, I could not live with that. So I would go back to Steve and say, Steve, listen, that company, while their API says it can do this, it isn't quite doing it yet, or whatever the version is. And I would tell them why. And the reason I didn't pick somebody that everything is running smooth to come here and speak is because when you're dealing in automation, you really want to know the truth. And when you're building a process that's going to mimic human behavior, as well as have to understand how your end user is going to work. Steve's end user could be seniors. So at the end of the day, if it isn't working correctly, I can't assume that they're going to understand how to do something. It really needs to be kind of simple. And he didn't have to keep telling me that. I knew that. And so I wasn't satisfied until I could say, you know what? I'm happy with this. And Steve, I just want to say thank you for being that way, because you didn't have to be. And thank you for wanting to come in and kind of talk about it, because I think that's important. There are people that it goes real easy. But that's not what we're doing right now.
And Tina, as I said earlier, you made it easier to work through the stressors. Software integrations are all about stressors. You hit the button to test something, you kind of do one of these, and they don't always work. In fact, 9 times out of 10 in the initial stages, they don't work because there's something missing. There's something that's just slightly off. But you were so transparent. I was telling my wife one time on a weekend when you were updating me, telling me that we got a delay here, but it's a good delay. And you always had it down to where whatever the need to change was, you had the plan to go forward. You didn't just deliver bad news, tough news, whatever you want to call it. You had a plan. And so I stopped worrying about when's this thing going to be online to coming up with a way on my side to continue to work kind of in a manual mode, but still utilizing the template that Tina has created with her team, but to give her the type of runway to make this thing a class A solution when it's all said and done, and be able to demonstrate it, because in healthcare, you have to be very exact record keeping wise. So having this all HIPAA compliant on our system, which it is going to be critical for when we go through our audits, which are every 2 years in this business. So Tina, thank you.
Thank
You've
you.
been fantastic. I'm not going to ask the question that's on my mind all the time, but I know it's coming.
Steve, thank you so much for stopping in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But thank you for coming.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. See you, Steve.
You're in great hands.
Okay. So again, I could have picked someone who's just going to say, Tina's great. She's everything. Everything goes smooth. I actually didn't. I picked the person who right now has probably had the most challenges with me in the last year. But I did that for a reason, because right now we all got a lot of fair weather friends. Okay. Fair weather friends who show up when it's good and who bail when it's hard. I don't bail. I stand by what I'm saying. I stand by the fact that this event, what you're learning in this event, could set your business up for years to come if you implement what we're doing. And even when it feels hard, even when it feels like, well, wait a minute, I can't do this because that's not something I would normally do. Or, again, like when I've been talking to different people, we all have that thing that is keeping us from moving forward. I'm just letting you know I don't run. I don't run from that. Um, One of the things I used to tell my clients, I showed you some screenshots last year. Some of them were current, but I'm sorry, yesterday, this will be last year. Showed you some screenshots. Some of them were current, but some of them were from years ago. And I remember back then, I used to tell my clients, hey, listen, if it breaks, just say Tina did it. If it don't work, just say, oh, that darn Tina made me do it. Because what I understood was happening is that a lot of people wouldn't move because of what other people around them were thinking. And that is the kiss of death for business. And so that's why I used to give my clients that way out. I used to be like, hey, listen, go say whatever you want to say, whatever you need to do. And some clients actually took me up on it. Not a lot of them did, but some of them did. Because, again, as I was telling the story before Steve got on, here you have um, here you have we've worked to have this professionalism. We work to look a certain way. We've been taught to get A's on the paper and to show up and to be packaged well and this, that, and the other. But then sometimes that same box as we've put ourselves in no longer serves us. And so we're working a different muscle, and it makes you feel wobbly at first, and it don't feel like it's working. But I want to let you know that as the progression, it does work. And as the momentum builds, I am fortunate enough right now, and this is one of the reasons why I'm never consistent on social media. I know that if I want to go build clients within 7 days of posting consistently on social media, and you can go look, I hardly post. I know I need to get better at it. And I said this yesterday, I should just go all the way in with that. And I just need to turn it over to an assistant and let them do it. But I haven't. And at some point I will, but I have this love-hate relationship with social media. So I haven't. And that's in my head. It's my thing. It's the thing that I'm going through. We all have something. But the thing I can tell you is that if I go and I start posting videos like this video that Steve just did, it will get posted. It will get posted as a live in my social media. If I take and do 7 days worth of videos, buy buttons will be happening everywhere. And it will speed up the buying process. Just 7 days. You guys could have that too. Just 7 days of posting, of implementing those things. And why? Because it's momentum. It's your value in the marketplace. It's the thing. He said he found me by luck, right? I'm going to say yes, while I didn't know him, he lives in Silicon Valley. That's where his business is. And he found me on Keep's website. I was finally mindful to actually wait a minute. I was the person that was like, I don't need to ask people for testimonials. I'm not asking them for reviews. I'm not doing any of that. They gotta want to give it. If I only want it if somebody wants to give it. I'm telling y'all my mess, and this is my mess, okay? Because I'm hoping you're gonna find your story in my mess. But this time when Keep launched this new marketplace, I was like, I have all of these clients who love me. If you look at my social media, you wouldn't know that sometimes because some posts don't get nobody talking on it. And this is how some people judge you. They judge you by how many people are interacting with your posts. And this is why I tell you this, that's all a bunch of crap. But I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm really good at automation. Um, I am I'm in the top as far as Black women are concerned. I am the only Black person to win Rookie of the Year for Keep. I think there was somebody close. I'm definitely the only Black woman to do it. Okay. And so at the end of the day, you wouldn't have been able to tell that that was the case on Keep's website if I didn't change my mindset and go, hey, listen, Jessica, would you mind giving me a review on Keep's website? Hey, listen, Susan. Hey, listen, Shachina. Hey, listen, I think I might have had Tamara on there. I've now asked Steve to go back and do one. He's done one. So when it comes, I'm on the front page now, but it's because I got over myself and I still have to do it because, again, that's like 7 people, and there are 40 people who profess their love for me in business. There's at least 40 right now that work one-to-one with me who profess their love and refer me to other people. Okay. So all I have to do is go ask them. I haven't asked all of them yet, but I'm getting there and I'm taking those little steps. I know I've infused this with talking about a lot of mistakes, a lot of my transparency, and I'm doing that for a reason because I want you to see yourself in this. How many people actively ask people to review them? Yes, it does. How many people, success involves failure? Yes, it does. How many people ask for video testimonials or testimonials, reviews? Well, when it comes to an online business, guess what is the biggest thing that people are looking at? Reviews and testimonials. Now, you can tell when some testimonials are scripted. Yep, you actively ask. I'm glad you do. Like it's one of those things where most of the time we just aren't asking. But now I'm getting over myself. I will be asking and making sure that by the end of this month, it's one thing that I've committed myself to do, that I get at least another 6 or 7 people to go and review me who actually have Keep on that website. So that really is why I brought Steve in today. We are about to circle into the automation portion for the rest of the day. We will start because I went a little over with this Steve conversation. So I think that was supposed to start at 2. So now it's going to start at 2:30. So that way you can have your break. And then from 2:30, we're going to run all the way until the close in this next session. This is going to be about lifecycle marketing and automation. I am a Keep certified partner. And as a Keep certified partner, I can offer a different price from what they have on their website. Now, let me tell you why I rock with Keep. I rock with Keep because they are the innovators of the industry. While most people value their automation based off of the outward appearance, I know that the business is built behind the scenes. I need a workhorse behind the scenes. That workhorse is Keep. Now, Keep is coming along with changing the outward appearance making their landing pages more sexy, giving you the pizzazz in your email marketing and this, that, and the other. But if you looked at all the things that I showed you so far in this event, you will see that a lot of that I could automate. When I was talking about, going from the webinar and being able to do a sequence to get them to the webinar, do a sequence if they don't show up to the webinar, do a sequence if they show up and don't buy. Once I program this, that whole set it and forget it thing, once I program it, this is going to go over and over again because they will be tagged. It will move them from one thing to another without me having to do it. So when you're looking at all of these things that I was showing you, it could seem overwhelming that you would have to do a lot. Once I get this set up, it takes a few hours to set it up completely, writing all of the emails and making sure you program so that once they meet this goal, it moves them from this thing to that thing. But nothing, I've built systems on everything. I'm not going to mention any other names, but none of the other systems can touch Keep. Period. End of story. The business is built behind the scenes. I want you guys to remember that. One of the things I was going to talk about earlier today when we were doing the business models is that a lot of people focus on their follower count, their engagement, how many people are liking them, this, that, and the other. I've had helped some of my clients reach 7 figures and they only had 250 followers. They're not worried about social media. They're worried about growing their business. Okay. And that's because they also know the business is built behind the scenes. A long time ago, I wrote this blog that says, I'm not a statistic, but I always use statistics. And I believe because if you look at statistics, it shows you where the average person is going to fall. Because the average person is trying to walk in the middle of the road. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't need too much attention. I want a good life. That's where most people are, and that is okay. But when you know what the statistic is, you know how to beat it. You know how to be better than that statistic. So there are statistics out there that Keep can help you do automatically. If you are doing touch points, building a relationship, knowing that it takes 7 to 10 touches, not just 7 to 10 times that they see you on social media. No, 7 to 10 after you've made that connection where we now want to get to know you. I'm willing to give you my contact information. I'm willing to give you my name and my cell phone number, or my name and my email address. That typically every industry has their own version, but whatever that is, it's going to take 7 to 10 touches or whatever it is for your industry. He can help you do that automatically. It also can help when I talked about making sure that when you have a program that first homework assignment goes, I can say, hey, listen, if somebody clicks this buy button and pay, as soon as they pay, these are the things that I want to happen after that. I need you to put a task on my the person who's responsible to call and make sure that they feel welcomed. Put a task on their task list. Make sure you send them that coaching questionnaire or the questionnaire, whatever their homework assignment. Remember, I told you, always give them homework. As soon as somebody buys, give them something to do. Do not wait. That eliminates chargebacks. Give them something to do. When you do that, all of that I can manage in one platform, and that's Keep. I can go into layers and layers and layers of it. While most people, again, are looking at the front facing, It is the businesses built behind the scenes. I just also want to say that there are a lot of people that come to me after they've built this huge outward appearance because now they want more money. Okay. Now they want, I am running right now as in a COO capacity. I want to say it's 18 is somewhere close to 20 companies that are either really approaching the 7-figure status or more. Okay. Um, and how do I do that? They're not all owned by me. Let's make that clear. Um, uh, I'm running them so people can come and hire me as their CEO, but that's something different. So I don't want to get into that. But either way, I'm putting the processes in place so that it works seamlessly. The only way that I can do that is because of automation, because I look to automate first and to delegate next. Because if I have a system of the way I do things, I can look at it and say, how can I automate this? And that's what Steve was talking about in healthcare, HIPAA compliant, working with seniors, making it easy for them to do what they do. How do I get this to work? And then click all the buttons after and get it to the right people and making sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do after that. And oh, well, wait a minute. What if they don't do it? Oh, I can make a decision. I can use the decision diamond and say, if they click yes here, then follow this path. If they click no here, then follow that path. If they click this video, follow that path. Like, and it sounds really complicated, but what it does is it reduces the amount of time you have to do those things so that you can focus on other things to do, whatever it is that you want to focus on. So the thing I want to let you know is that because I am a Keep Certified partner, I have links that you guys can click if you want to get started understanding how to automate your business. That pricing for me is definitely less than you'll get on the website. And plus, I give bonuses. If you have a Keep app through me, you can come to my automation hours. My automation inner circle is $300 a month, $297 a month. You actually get that free just from getting an app with me. So if you've ever thought about automating your business, now is the time. I don't know how long I'm going to do that, but you get to ask me questions. As you can see from what Steve said, literally, I'm um I'm like a perfectionist about it. As you said, he could tell you there's one thing he's got to work on manually until I'm finished. Like when you have 100 darn check boxes on one sheet, you need them to line up correctly and you need for them to hit the right thing behind the scenes. So that takes time. And I'm having two systems, Keep and Adobe Sign, to talk to each other. And this isn't just about somebody signing a contract, it's about service delivery as well. How is it going to service after the fact? But all of that can happen. And so now he doesn't have to spend money on long term for a receptionist or a job to do that. Right. So when you think about it, he might have had to pay me to get it up and running. But over the years, this thing is going to keep going and going and going, where he would have had to have at least a $30,000 a year job salary. Now, and I'm not saying that he can't hire that salary, but he can hire them to do something else because this thing is already done. And it's important for this event because, again, I'll look for that article and share those statistics. But more than 50% of the time that service-based business owners are doing are things that could have been automated. So the rest of this afternoon is going to be spent on automation. We will be back at 2:30. You guys will be able to see the links if you want to I have some good discounts. I think it's 50%, so we can get you up and running on Keep. 50% per month for the next 3 months, I think is the deal. I should have been more clear on that, sorry. But either way, you'll be able to see when you click the link, if that's something that you want to get involved in. Automation is the way of the future. I don't know if we're going to have a recession. I don't know. I don't know what is coming, but what I do know is that if you're looking to make sure that it continues to go in 2023, if you want it to go further, automation should be part of it, because you can automate first, then delegate. You can make sure that it works. It is not just Keep is owning the lane of sales and marketing automation, but I'm talking about a whole lot deeper than that. So if you're ready for your sales to increase and you're ready to get some of these things that I'm telling you that will reduce the amount of time, reduce the chargebacks, help you generate more leads, and nurture more people, then you want to use Keep. So you guys go on to your break. I will see you at 2:30. And I'm grateful for Steve for coming on.